So in this video, I will help you figure out if your ex misses you and how to perhaps get them to miss you a little bit more, hopefully to a point where they give you another chance, which I assume is why you clicked on this video in the first place. So let's begin with some signs that tell you that your ex indeed does miss you, listed of course in no particular order. Generally speaking, the more of these signs that you notice when it comes to your ex, the more likely it is that they really miss you. So it's really as simple as that. So sign number 1, your ex reaches out. So if your ex does contact you and it's unrelated to logistics like children, pets, living arrangements, or some work or shared possession related thing, right? Well, then that's a good chance they miss you. So meaning their reach out, their checkup, it's about something personal. Maybe they ask you how you're doing. Maybe they ask you what are your plans for the weekend. This is a really good sign your ex misses you. The second sign is that they're excited to hear from you. Now, there's a lot you can pick up from someone's tone. So if your ex is eager to talk to you, for example, well, that's a sign they miss you. Or to give you another example, they text you in this really maybe over the top way, or maybe they use more emojis, cute emojis than they usually use. Signs like that or signals like that, all of that means that your ex probably still has some feelings for you, as opposed to if they're, let's say, cold or detached, or if they respond to you in one-word replies, or if they just want to talk about logistics and that's it. Like, if that's the case, obviously you're probably irritating them. They're not attracted to you at the moment, so it's obviously not a sign that they miss you. But to move on, sign number 3, your ex keeps up with friends and family. So meaning they are asking your friends and family how you're doing, what you're up to, and whether or not you're maybe even seeing anyone. Like, all of this means they still think about you, probably miss you. Sign number 4, they keep bumping into you. So if your ex basically places themselves where they know you might be and where they might run into you, that's likely not a coincidence, especially if it keeps happening over and over again. Like, if you keep seeing them wherever you go, it might be because they intentionally put themselves there in order to make it easy for you to shoot your shot, to try and seduce them, to try and reattract them, to get them back, whatever. Hence, they probably miss you. Sign number 5 is they propose being friends with benefits after the breakup. So whether your ex suggests this directly or indirectly by saying something like, let's just continue seeing each other but with no strings attached, like that's a really common response in this manner, it likely means they miss you and they might eventually rekindle something with you. Obviously, I'm not saying be friends with benefits. If that's not what you want, you need to be respectful to yourself and you need to follow your intuition, your personal values, and you need to be very clear on what you want to tolerate and what you're unwilling to tolerate, and then make your decision. I'm just saying that sometimes if your ex wants to be friends with benefits, it's a sign they miss you. But to go forward with sign number 6, they're forcing friendship. So this is kind of similar to one I talked about earlier. So if your ex keeps pushing for staying friends, this idea for staying friends, that also means they probably aren't over you yet. But if they only mention friendship maybe once, they might be trying to let you down gently in that case and probably don't miss you. So it's a subtle but important difference. So if your ex keeps trying to reach out to you and try to discuss being friends or something, that's a sign of interest. But if you break up and let's say you're chasing them and then they just tell you, you know what, I don't want like another shot with you, I don't want to get romantically involved with you, but I'm willing to stay friends. If that's the case, they're just arguably letting you down gently, probably. Also, if you want your ex back, by the way, which I know a lot of people watching my videos want, do not accept being friends. Like, yes, I have other videos that go in depth into this topic. Sure, fine, go watch them. But the point remains, and I won't go deep into this because, this video is about a different topic. Don't be friends with your ex because it's incongruent with what you want. Like, if you're watching this video, you're probably just wanting your ex back. You don't want to be friends, and if you accept friendship, you are being dishonest to them, you're being dishonest to yourself, you're going to resent yourself for it because you're doing something like that's like going against what you want, and you're also going to resent your ex because, believe me, if you're gonna be friends, you're gonna hear about other people dating them, and you're gonna have those discussions, and there will be drama following that. I know you just cannot stay calm and collected and confident while you hear how there's some other guy fucking your ex, or there's some other girl that he is dating. I'm just saying, not a lot of people would want to go down that route, so I strongly discourage you from going down this route. And besides, being friends with your ex isn't gonna lead to reattracting them any sooner. It probably is just going to backfire. Usually the best results that I've seen with my clients and my readers and my viewers, is that there's a clean break. One person is very clear about wanting to get back together, and then the other person eventually reaches out and they rekindle things. That's usually how it goes. I almost never see success when it comes to being friends first, and then, let's say, after being friends for a month, a person invites their ex on a date, on a romantic date. Usually when that happens, they get rejected. Okay, that was a tangent. Let's move forward with sign number 7. Your ex tries to make you jealous. So if your ex is going out, let's say, they are showing themselves off, they're flirting with other men, women, whatever, they are posting provocative photos of them online, maybe they even post photos of them with other people of the opposite sex that are pretty attractive and maybe a bit spicy, maybe provocative. Like, all of that is a signal that your ex is trying to make you envious, jealous. And the truth is, if they're doing that constantly, either they're just really insecure and a really sad person that you shouldn't try and get back with, or they just miss you and want to get your attention. So that's it for the signs your ex misses you. Now let's talk about the other side of the coin. Like, what are some signs your ex definitely does not miss you? Well, here they are, yet again, in no particular order. The more of them you notice, the more likely it is that your ex really probably isn't gonna give you another shot. Sign number 1, they don't reach out. So if you're in no contact and your ex makes no attempts to reach out, they probably moved on. Simple as that. Sign number 2, they told you to move on already, be that directly or indirectly, as in maybe it's time to focus on yourself, you should date other people, or I need to find myself, so just leave me be for a few days or a few months or a few weeks or whatever. Like, either way, whatever of these things your ex says to you, it probably means that they're done with you, at least in this moment. Sign number 3, they give you the cold shoulder. So basically, if they are disinterested, distant, if they're cold whenever you interact, obviously it's a sign they don't miss you and won't try to get back together. Sign number 4 is that they show no interest in meeting up. And this one's again pretty self-explanatory. If your ex doesn't want to spend time with you, it means you probably won't be hearing from them anytime soon, and they probably don't have any feelings for you anymore. Sign number 5 is they don't engage with your social media. So they're not liking your posts, they're not opening your stories, they're not leaving comments. These things are all a pretty decent sign that it's over. Same for sign number 6. Your friends have told you to move on. Believe me, they know how things are way better than you do. They're, after all, not enwrapped in emotions. They're not full of fear and, well, specifically fear of loss, because they're not the ones who are going through a breakup. So, they probably objectively know more than you when it comes to the nature of your situation, and they probably know better in terms of what you should be doing right now. So if they tell you to move on, you should probably move on, especially if all of your friends or the majority of them tell you this. As for sign number 7, your ex returns your stuff. So they return your belongings or the gifts you gave them. This is basically like burning the bridges. They want to avoid the possibility of reconnecting in the future, which could happen if you literally give them a call and say, hey, can I get my stuff back? And maybe can I go and see you at your house or apartment and grab them myself? Your ex wants to avoid that scenario because it might prolong their healing. It might not be what they want. They might not want to simply see you. And so they just give you all the stuff back. And they return your belongings, and at the same time, maybe they even ask for their own belongings, right? Again, a big sign that they don't miss you. So now that we've gone over these signs, let's talk about how you can even get your ex to miss you a little bit more, to go from being neutral or unreceptive to actually being receptive. Now, this part is actually way simpler than you might think. In short, the best way to get your ex to miss you is, well, through self-improvement. So here's what you should focus on. First of all, you should cut communication with your ex, unless it's necessary to discuss logistics like kids, pets, shared work projects, and stuff like that. In those cases, limit your communication rather than cutting it completely. So talk about whatever the logistic is, come to some mutually beneficial conclusion, agreement, decision, whatever, and then you move forward with your own life. You do not go into drama, you do not go unpacking relationship issues, you do not talk about personal wishy-washy stuff. You don't want to elicit any more negative feelings in your ex. That's why we want to avoid that. As for tip number 2, get quality sleep, eat healthy foods, exercise regularly, maintain good personal hygiene. Like, basic self-care is crucial. Your ex probably won't give you the time of day if you crawl out of your home looking like a slob and overweight and all depressed looking and all that stuff, right? Tip 3 is to focus on meaningful work and a stable financial life. So, go take care of that. Then socialize with friends and family more often than usual. That's another tip I give to people a lot because they forget about it. Like, you don't want to suffer alone through this. You want friends and family to be able to support you. You want to have them close to not only seek consistent support, but also seek advice or simply a listening ear, whatever you feel like in that moment. And you should probably also experiment with meditation, journaling, gratitude practices, yoga, qigong, and therapy. And I know a lot of people are against therapy or something like that, but like, fuck it. You should probably go and get therapy if you're struggling with a breakup. In fact, you should go to therapy even if you're not struggling with a breakup and you just want to learn how to understand yourself better and how to grasp why you broke up with your ex in the first place. A therapist is going to be able to help you achieve all of that. Now, for my additional tip number 7, I think this is, I completely lost track. Fuck it, right? Show indifference, but not out of spite or immaturity. Like, don't try to make your ex jealous by showing off how great you're doing. Avoid that kind of indifference, that kind of behavior. I'm just talking about the indifference that comes naturally by finding something you care more about than your ex. So maybe that's another way to put this tip. You should find something you care more about than your ex, something you find more important and meaningful than mending your dead relationship, and then you should focus on that, double down on it, put all your eggs in that basket. And ideally, what tends to happen, at least in theory, is people feel better. People feel like their life is not over despite their breakup because they have this other thing here that they care about and they can work towards. So in short, what you should focus on to get your ex to miss you more is yourself, is self-improvement. It's maybe even, we can say, self-care. And it has, as you can see, a lot more to do with yourself and what you do to yourself than being proactive about trying to control or influence somehow your ex's behaviors and perceptions and thoughts. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you want to go deeper into my process for becoming more attractive, for getting an ex back, if you want to learn what to do once your ex reaches out to you after you applied all the advice in this video, well, you should download my Re-Attraction cheat sheet. It's a cute little one-page PDF with all additional tips and advice, from setting dates to transitioning into a relationship, to going no contact, to being more attractive and confident in general, to communicating and interacting with your ex, all that good stuff right in my cheat sheet. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.